from seeing Spider-Man Far From Home. It was so good. I loved it. I enjoyed every second of it. I haven't seen any movies on opening night recently, so it was just fun to be able to do that again for Spider-Man, which is one of my favorite, Spider-Man's my favorite MCU hero. But yeah, I will be posting this video tomorrow. I just got back from the theater tonight. It's 10 at night and I won't have time to edit, but so that's why it's coming a day late. But anyway, for this video, what I've got for you today, I'm just gonna do a little bit of initial thoughts and reaction, a little bit of review, and also react to that prediction video I made a couple days ago for you guys. So let's get on with the video. So first, I wanted to do just a little bit of spoiler-free review for those who haven't seen the movie yet. I think the biggest thing for me was I just loved how they kept that awkward teenage high school vibe in this movie that they had in Homecoming, because that's one of the things that I just love so much about Homecoming, was that it was Spider-Man as a teenager, and it just had everything was perfect. And I like how they kept that in this movie. It just, you could tell the stakes were bigger, obviously, but it felt a lot like Homecoming, especially in the tone of it. And so I just loved how it had that same familiar feeling that I loved so much about Homecoming. In that regard, it didn't disappoint. There was a lot of awesome action scenes and everything, and overall it was just a really entertaining movie to watch. From now on, the rest of what I've got is pretty much all spoilers. So if you haven't seen the movie yet, don't watch the rest of the video. Come back later and watch it after you've seen the movie. This is your spoiler warning. Turn away now or beware. Okay, the next part I wanted to do is my favorite thing to do is react to my predictions. So a couple days ago I made some predictions. I made 5 main predictions about this movie. The first one was that Mysterio, good or bad, I said he would be bad. I was right. It totally worked well. I loved it. I thought it was actually really funny how it felt like the first half of the movie, if Mysterio was good, could have been its own movie. If it hadn't been Mysterio, if it was someone else, or if he'd been a good guy, it could have just ended there and been satisfying. But then this entire time I'm when's it gonna happen? I know he's not good. And then the entire heartfelt scene where Peter's pouring his soul out to him and gives him the Edith glasses, and then that's when it just all goes down, reveals the whole thing, and it's yeah, but also no at the same time. That was pretty good. I feel like they did really well at making you trust Mysterio at the beginning, especially obviously you had to kind of feel where Peter was coming from when he was trusting him so much to give him the Edith glasses. Although honestly, if I was him, I wouldn't have done that. You only know the guy for a day. But anyway, now my problem, his problem. He had to deal with it. The next prediction I made was whether Mysterio came from another dimension. I said no. I was right. He was lying the whole time. And then my third prediction was about whether Tony Stark was going to be the next Jarvis, Friday, Karen figure. I forgot to mention Karen last time because that's the one more with Spider-Man. But that type of figure, I said no. I was right. It ended up being Edith, which Edith had the nod towards Stark where it stood for even dead, I'm the hero, which I actually thought was really funny. I'm why is it Edith? And then it said that, and I'm oh, Stark, you're funny. But I was right that that wasn't the case. I found the entire Edith thing interesting. It had more significance than I thought. I thought that it was kind of just going to be another Karen situation where it helped out with different stuff. Then apparently the whole movie was about Edith in the first place because that's what Mysterio was trying to get. So that was an interesting spin on things. Yeah, anyway, going on, my fourth prediction had to do with if anyone else was gonna find out about Spider-Man. And this one, I got it kind of, I didn't. I said that MJ would be the only one who would find out of Peter's friends in this movie that he was Spider-Man. And up until the mid-credit scene, that was true. At least I'm pretty sure. I mean, no one else said that they figured it out, or implied that they figured it out. But that was true up until the mid-credit scene. And then that mid-credit scene hit, and oh my gosh, that was just crazy, right? I loved how there was that cameo from from J. Jonah Jameson, apparently running a controversial or shady internet news site called the Daily Bugle, which I think was a good take on that in this day and age when technology is such a part of these Spider-Man movies rather than it being a newspaper company. But anyway, what it came down to was apparently that footage, which I'm still kind of like unsure about how Mysterio was able to get that because Edith said that there were no more illusions going on. But anyway, that just mid-credit scene, there was that footage where Mysterio revealed that Peter Parker was Spider-Man, and it showed a picture of him too. Part of that makes me kind of doubt the validity of that source. I know that they kind of announced the source is kind of controversial, the Daily Bugle, so I'm wondering how many people will actually believe it at the beginning when that comes in the next Spider-Man movie. I feel like, I hope there's not too much of a wait between now and then, because I feel like this is such a cliffhanger for like MCU movies. I mean, obviously Infinity War had a huge cliffhanger, but I feel like usually they like tease things, but it's not like this big of stuff where it's like, what the heck's gonna happen to Peter Parker? Anyway, this was all just an answer to me kind of being wrong about my prediction that no one would find out, because apparently in the end everyone is told that he's Spider-Man, so I guess I was kind of wrong there. If you leave when the credits hit, then I was right, but otherwise, I guess I was wrong. And then the last prediction I made was about them teasing the next big villain, like for the whole Avengers. And I said that they probably would, but I didn't know who it would be. They didn't, which actually now I'm not really surprised because technically I guess Far From Home was the end of Phase 3 rather than the start of Phase 4. So I feel like they're not ready to tease that yet at this point, but what they did tease for the post-credit scene was just that everything's gonna go a lot more cosmic. Everything is leaving the Earth a lot more. Obviously, we're gonna still be down on the Earth for a good portion of stuff, but we're just getting way more far-reaching for the MCU, and I'm excited for that. I think that's really fun. We're gonna get more stuff from Guardians, more stuff like that, like with the Eternals. And can I just say, with that end credit scene, I did not see that coming. That for this entire movie at least, Nick Fury and Maria Hill were actually Talos and another Skrull, just impersonating them, but under the instruction of Nick Fury, he was apparently out in space. Like, that was just so sudden, and I'm like, what's going on here with that, all that? I know there's like, some people are like, how long has Talos been Nick Fury? Like, this whole time, or just a short amount of time? I feel like it's probably like since the end of Endgame until now type of thing at most. Probably it was just like this one mission to get those glasses down to Peter or to him from wherever they had been, and that had been the purpose of that, and it was just for that. But I know there's some people who are like thinking about that now, and I guess that is a thing to think about now, so that's kind of crazy. But anyway, I've been kind of all over the place with this video. I think I'm just gonna end with some of my favorite parts and my least favorite parts from the movie. I really enjoyed the awkward teenageness again. That's what I love about Homecoming, and I liked the relationship, of course, between Peter and MJ. It was so cute. I loved how she figured everything out, but then it was still awkward because she couldn't admit to him that she was paying attention because she liked him. I liked that last scene where he had just like finished fighting everything off and she comes up and they have like their cute little awkward kiss and they're just like cute and adorable, and I love it. I really like the action sequences. I thought that the parts where Mysterio was really getting into Peter's head were kind of cool to see him fighting in that element and he couldn't actually see it, and it was just super cool when he finally gets his spidey senses, or I guess in this movie it's called Peter Tingle, which is kind of funny, when he actually is able to access those and use them correctly to feel where everything is, because he can't see any of it because it's all an illusion. And just like that moment when he stops like Mysterio from shooting him and it's like, it's over, dude. That was great. I really liked that. I think in regards to this movie, like the only thing I was kind of like underwhelmed or a little bit confused about was like Mysterio's motives. I mean I get he was like another guy who was upset with Tony Stark and mad at him, and I guess that trickled into Spider-Man's world just because of him being there, but I just don't really get why he needed like Edith. I mean, obviously obviously that made him more powerful, but I mean, behind his motive, like, what exactly was he trying to do? And maybe that would be more clear on a second viewing, so, I mean, I'll give it that. I feel like as this movie got bigger stakes, it was a little bit harder to, like, see the villain side, whereas it was a lot easier to see, like, the Vulture side of things in Homecoming, which is one thing that they did well, even though it was a lot lower stakes in Homecoming. But, I mean, overall, I really liked it. There was good action, good awkwardness, all of the things that make a great Spider-Man movie, in my opinion, and that's why I probably like it just as much as Homecoming. I'm excited to hopefully watch it again sometime soon and be able to catch some of the things I missed. I remember that was one thing I really liked about seeing Homecoming again, was catching like all of the little funny, awkward things that happened that I didn't see the first time, and now I've seen that movie so many times. But in the end, I really loved the movie. Sorry if the frame jumped at all. I just realized I finished filming my video a few minutes ago, and I realized there was one more thing I forgot to mention about. So last thing before I finish up the video, I really like how they addressed all of the events of Endgame at the beginning of the movie. They came up with a name for it, they called it the blip, and totally addressed like all of the factors that would have, especially like on this group of people, like teenagers who had been affected by the blip, because obviously now like a younger sibling can be an older sibling, and they actually addressed that, and I was very satisfied with that at the beginning. I thought it was hilarious when all of the band people just showed up in the middle of like a basketball game or whatever was going on. I thought it was a great way to add like the comedic style for this movie into that whole thing and actually like not gloss over it. So I really appreciated that they went into that, and I think they did really well at addressing that and explaining that whole part at the beginning of the movie. In the end, I really loved the movie. I hope you guys did too. I hope most of all that you enjoyed watching this video. Let me know down in the comments below what your favorite parts and least favorite parts were of this movie. If you have seen Spider-Man Homecoming Far, if you have seen Spider-Man Far From Home already, don't forget to leave a like on this video and if you enjoyed it, and subscribe to my channel, which you can do by clicking right here. And check out more of my videos. The prediction video I referenced earlier is up top, and then just a playlist of all of my MCU related movies is down below. Thank you for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye!